Hey, Assalamu alaikum. In this video, we will understand about the working of the coenzyme CoQ10 and the glutathione in the mitochondria for reactive oxygen species prevention. So the Ros prevention. So the major enzyme which that work for it is the catalase, CAT, and the GPA, the glutathione peroxidase, and the PRX3. This is the peroxyredoxin 3. So in this way, these enzyme which that basically convert the hydrogen peroxide and the free radical of the oxygen into the water and separation of the oxygen. So how it is possible? So here is the NADH dehydrogenase enzyme which that is present in the complex 1. So it will basically reduce the NADH to oxidize and reduce to pump out the proton, 4 proton, but it will accept the electron to donate the complex 1. So basically it is the part of the complex 1. But on the other hand, the glutathione also work for the again conversion of the NAD plus into the NADH by the conversion GSSG into the 2GSH. So in this way, it will basically also work for the production of the hydrogen and oxygen and water and oxygen by the hydrogen peroxide. Remember, the hydrogen peroxide is also reactive oxygen species. So for example, here is the oxygen will accept the electron to become a reactive, and the manganese superoxide dismutase enzyme will convert it into the hydrogen peroxide, and this still reactive but less. So in this way, the further these three enzymes will convert it into the water and oxygen. On the other hand, the matrix metabolic enzyme, which that basically convert into the NAD plus into the NADH in the Krebs cycle. So aconitase, PDH, which that convert it the alpha ketoglutarate into the by the using of that alpha ketoglutarate into the NADH and NAD plus ratio. So maintain this ratio. Remember, on the other hand, here is the complex one which that accept the electron to donate to the mobile protein coenzyme CoQ10. This coenzyme Q is the ubiquinone which that convert into the ubiquinol when it will accept the proton and electron. In this way, it will basically donate the electron to the complex 3, but the complex 2 is not involving, so we will not understand the work. On the other hand, the oxygen will use to accept the electron to become a reactive, and this reactive oxygen species should be clear up. So in this way, here is the P66SHC and cytochrome C also convert it into the hydrogen peroxide. On the other hand, the important thing you should need to understand is the half molecule of oxygen will separate a proton and electron. So in this way, the water basically will be formed. So in this way, the oxygen basically will become reactive oxygen species when accept the electron. So in this way, this all oxygen basically accept, and in this way accept the electron, but it should be clear up. So that clearing mechanism required, so it will clear up. On the other hand, the ATP will produce to proton move pump in, so required oxygen more for conversion of the water. So that in this way, the conversion will occur. But remember about that thing, the glycerol 3-phosphate dehydrogenase enzyme is present in the some cell. So it will also convert into the hydrogen peroxide into the water and oxygen. So basically is the manganese superoxide dismutase will convert, and that will be catalase and the glutathione peroxidase and the peroxyredoxin which that convert it. But important thing is that the monoamine oxidase enzyme used to convert the oxidized protein to accept the electron from the oxygen to become reactive, and this will reactive to become again hydrogen peroxide conversion via a manganese superoxide dismutase enzyme. And in this way, here is, you can see, this is the same mechanism, but in this way, this oxygen basically accept the electron whenever the mitochondrial electron transport chain will leak out the electron due to the damage of the mitochondria, some damage process and some less oxygen production. So whenever the oxygen will less, so the reactive oxygen species will increase. So here is the oxygen when accept the electron from the mitochondria, so it will become a superoxide, the free radical. The superoxide dismutase enzyme will convert into the hydrogen peroxide, and this GPX, the glutathione peroxidase enzyme, will convert into the water and the oxygen that is present in the mitochondria, and that is why these three enzymes, the catalase and the GPA and PRX3, which that function properly for the reactive oxygen species clearance. But important thing is that the hydrogen peroxide also donate the electron to the antioxidant like the coenzyme CoQ10, which that also accept the electron for further again electron transport chain working. But on the other hand, the glutathione redox reaction or oxidized and reduced form of the glutathione in the form of reduced 2-GSH and in the form of oxidized GSSG. So in this way, the oxidized to reduce via an ADPH donate to the reduction. So in this way, the glutathione reductase enzyme will lead to reduce. So in this way, the NADP plus will form. On the other hand, the oxidase, the glutathione peroxidase enzyme, will lead to hydrogen peroxide to oxidize into the water molecule and the separation of the one molecule of oxygen. And in this way, the clearance of the reactive oxygen species will occur due to the glutathione. And the glutathione will work in the mitochondria is important, which that will convert into the hydrogen peroxide into the water and oxygen. In this way, the reactive oxygen species and free radical will clear ultimately. Working of the coenzyme CoQ10 is also important. Like the coenzyme CoQ10 deficiency lead to more leak electron transport chain, cause more reactive oxygen species production. So the reactive oxygen species prevention by coenzyme CoQ10 through exercise, fasting, and ketogenic diet and supplementation will lead to decrease the reactive oxygen species. In this way, the coenzyme CoQ10 cycle we will discuss here. So the coenzyme CoQ10 basically coenzyme CoQ10 will accept the proton and electron. So in this way, the 2 proton and 2 electron to become a reduced in the form of coenzyme H₂. So I hope you make sense about that. In this way, you can understand that thing. The major enzyme is the catalase, glutathione peroxidase, and the redoxin, which that use for the conversion of the water and oxygens again from the hydrogen peroxide from reactive oxygen species, because the free radical in the oxygen, the oxygen superoxide is more dangerous than the hydrogen peroxide, and in this the water will basically non-dangerous, so no danger.